Welcome back to the Torie and Ren YouTube channel. This is part 3 of the Woodland Wonders sewing tutorial. If you're looking for the previous parts, you can find them linked down below in the description box or on the Torie and Ren channel. Let's continue with our wristlet. My D-ring tab is now basted over here, and you can see I didn't catch any of the lining. I kept it away when I was sewing. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab our front flap, and on the piece I over here, we're going to first fold it in half to find the middle. So we're going to bring that bottom edge together like so, and then we're going to mark the middle with an erasable marking pen. I have a small little line there already. And then you're going to repeat the same thing with your front flap. You're going to fold it in half. Okay, and then you're going to mark the middle over here on that piece J, so right over here. And what we're going to do is, again, moving our lining out of the way because we don't want to sew it down. That's something very important. We're going to center our front flap with that bottom edge, just like so. Okay, so my markings are aligned. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try to make sure that there's an equal distance on this side and this side. If you'd like, you can draw a line that this edge needs to stay on as you sew, but we're going to make sure that it's an equal distance. And then we're going to sew all the way up in line with the stitching we already did for our top stitch. And then we're going to stop about 1/2 inch from this seam. Okay, and you're going to do it on this side as well. Now for extra security, you can actually sew a triangle. So when you sew, when you stop 1/2 inch here, you can sew in 1/4 inch and then down diagonally about 1/2 inch to stop here, making sure to backstitch. Now this triangle will actually just reinforce this part here so that when this is used as a pocket, we put stuff inside here, that it's nice and strong at these seams and at these corners. So I'm going to go ahead and sew mine here and here. I also forgot to mention that you can machine baste the bottom edge here first prior to sewing, and that'll help hold it in place. But once you've sewn the sides, if you haven't machine basted yet, you're going to machine baste across here as well. I've attached my flap to my piece I. Mine looks like that. I actually didn't opt to do the triangles just for time's sake, but what I did do was I sewed all the way up, backstitched a bunch, turned and pivoted and sewed off the edge so that these seams were nice and secure. But now that that's attached, we're going to install a set of magnetic snaps here and here so that the wristlet closes like this. And to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to mark the middle of this edge here. So I have my marking there, and the same thing over here. There's my marking. And from that middle point, or that midpoint, we're going to mark 3/8 in there and 3/8 in here. And we're going to install our snaps. So we're going to install one stud, which is the lighter protruding half, and one socket, which is the thicker half here, the thicker, heavier half. And what we're going to do is we're going to install one here and one here. It doesn't matter which one goes where, as long as they are a full set and are opposite to each other so that they will close. We don't want to install 2 sockets, since we do have 2 sockets remaining here and here, and then it won't close later. So just make sure you have the correct components. So one here and here. Now, something I want to note before you install the snap is if you didn't catch your lining before, your top stitching actually won't interfere in any way with your magnetic snap. However, if you did catch your lining, depending on the distance you sewed from your edge here with your top stitching, it may interfere with your snap. So what I mean by this is when the backing plate goes in the back, it may not fit because your seam here is your fabric here is sewn down. So in the case of that, if you find that your backing plate, when it's centered with your marking, is on top of your top stitching, you can actually just install your snap a little bit lower, okay, out of the way of that top stitching. And then on the back side, when you're adding your fusible fleece, you may need to trim the top of the fusible fleece a little bit so that it fits nicely behind here. Don't trim the sides because that's where our prongs are going to go, but you may want to trim up here just a little bit so it doesn't interfere with your top stitching. Now I'm going to go ahead and install my 2 snaps, 1/2 here and 1/2 here, and I'll be right back. Just super quickly before you install your snaps, also make sure that when you're installing your snaps, only catch the card pocket piece. Do not catch your lining because you don't want to have the backing and fusible fleece inside your lining. So make sure to only catch the card pocket piece here and over here. My magnetic snaps are now installed on my card pocket, and it looks like this on the right side. This here is the wrong side. You can see my layers of fusible fleece and my backing plate. You can see here that the fusible fleece and backing plate don't interfere with my seam here or here. And I can bring my lining down just like that and like that, and both sides lay flat. Next, what we're going to do on the right side is we're going to install the remaining half of our magnetic snap. It's a socket that we have left over, and we're going to install it below our change pocket. So to do so, we need to mark it first. So we're going to fold our piece in half, just like that, bringing those side seams together. You're going to mark the middle there, and then from the middle marking, you can see my marking already, we're going to mark 1/2 inch down, and that's the tentative location of our snap. Now, it's not for sure yet, because what we want to do is we want to make sure that when our flap closes, the snap that we already have installed, this half, actually lands in that location, and it'll snap closed properly. So to do that, we're actually going to fold this up as if it was complete. So we're going to bring these snaps together. We're going to grab some quilting clips, and we're going to quilt all our side seams together as if they were sewn already. So I'm going to pull this here, this one here, this here, and this one here. So everything's together as if it was sewn. And then I'm going to close my flap, making sure my zipper pulls out of the way. The clips kind of interfere a little bit, but when it's closed, we won't have that issue, or when it's sewn. So I'm going to bring this over, and I'm going to see where my snap lands, or this one here, the one that's already installed. And if I place it there, it will actually land exactly where my marking is, and it'll actually give a little bit of wiggle room here, which is good, because once we put stuff in here, it'll get full, and you want to have a little bit of space here to allow for that. So mine's in the right spot, so I'm going to go ahead and take all these clips out, and then I'm going to install the remaining half of my snap here. Take that out, the pairing for this one. And when I install that, I want to make sure that my change pocket and lining are out of the way, and I only catch this piece here. I'm going to go ahead and install it, and I'll be right back. I've added the remaining half of the magnetic snap right here, and then this is what it looks like on the wrong side. I actually just trimmed some of that fusible fleece so that it wouldn't interfere with my change pocket lining in any way. So that's what it looks like on the back. We're now going to work on closing our wristlet, since we have all of the components sewn together already. So the first step in closing our wristlet is we're going to bring this bottom piece here, piece B, and the piece I with the flap together with the right sides facing. Okay, just those two pieces. And we're going to sew across using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, like so. After you've attached those two pieces together, it'll look something like that. Your exterior will actually form a tube like this, and then your lining will be on the outside, so it'll look something like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to close up the sides and sew all the way around, but we first need to open our zipper. So we're going to open our zipper to the midway point, so just halfway, not right to the end, and that'll just make sure our pull isn't in our way when we sew around. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bring our two-piece B together with right sides facing. So we're going to bring them right across. You're going to grab some quilting clips. It's best to use quilting clips here and not pins, because the pins will pierce the faux leather. If you're using quilting cotton for print B, you're more than welcome to use pins instead. I'm just going to match my seams here with my clips. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Now, if you have your seam allowance pointing that way, you also want to do the same thing on this side, so it's not twisted in opposite directions. You want them both to the same direction. Add my clip there and match my seam here. Then over here at the zipper, what you're going to want to do is you want your zipper pointing in toward the lining. So if you see here, my zipper actually bends into the lining. It doesn't bend to the exterior. So I'm going to have mine bending into the lining like that. And then on each side of the zipper, I'm actually going to machine base these ends together so that they're aligned and they match. You can also just use pins or quilting clips if you prefer. So on that side, my zipper here on this side. This one will be a little bit trickier because you have your tab here. This side, and this side. So there's quite a few areas to match, but I find matching them just gives a nice finish at the end. Then what you're going to do is you're going to bring your lining pieces together on both sides with right sides facing. Sorry, I'm a bit out of breath, but you're going to put some pins or quilting clips all the way around here and here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to sew all the way around, and you're going to make sure to backstitch on your D-ring. And then you're also going to leave an opening in one of your lining pockets. So it can be this one or this one, it's up to you. But make sure you leave a big enough opening that you can turn the entire wristlet inside out through it. So you want to leave a pretty big opening here, just so that everything can fit and you're not going to struggle pulling it through, especially if you're using the faux leather, because it's a lot thicker and there's a lot more layers to get through that opening. So I'm going to go ahead and sew all the way around, making sure that all my areas here are matched. I've gone ahead and trimmed everything and gave it a good lint roll. I'm now going to turn it inside out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach in and I'm going to open my zippers. So first one, then reach in and open my second one. And then I'm just going to gradually try to pull everything inside out. So just gently, so I don't rip anything or pull on anything I'm not supposed to, since I really can't see what I'm doing from here. Okay, and that's the good thing about a big opening. It's a lot easier to turn it inside out. Okay, now you can take this to the iron and give it a good press. Just again, don't put the iron on any of the faux leather areas because they will get damaged from the heat of the iron. I'm going to go ahead and press mine so that the side's nice and flat as well. I gave mine a quick press. I tucked the lining in on this side, but then on this side, what you're going to do is at your opening, you're going to tuck those raw edges in so that edge is nice and flush. So you can see here, you can't really tell where the opening starts and ends. Then what you're going to do is you're either going to sew really close to the edge by machine to close the opening, or you can sew it by hand. I think I'm going to sew mine by hand, but I'm going to do that a bit later, just so that I can keep working on the tutorial. But you're going to close that opening there, and once that's closed, you're going to tuck your lining back into the pocket. You're then going to close your zippers, and I just added some cards into my card pockets so you can see what it looks like all full. Then to close it, we're going to bring our magnetic snaps together like that. We're going to fold over our flap. I'm going to close the change pocket first, fold over the flap, and then we're going to close our swivel hook and D-ring here. I'm just going to adjust mine a little bit, and there we go. So that's what my wristlet looks like now. Okay, my zipper pulls, there's the back. We're now going to work on the wristlet strap here that's going to attach on this side. I just have my iron here for the last time and my wristlet strap piece. So what we're going to do with this piece is we're going to first fold it in half with wrong sides facing. So just like so. And then we're going to grab our iron and we're going to press it to crease that middle fold. So I'm going to do that all the way down the entire piece. Okay, now that mine is pressed all the way across, we're going to open it up again, just like so. And then we're going to bring these outer raw edges into that middle. So on this side and then on this side. And then we're going to press so that they both meet in the middle all the way along. I'm going to do that now. So starting with this side, I'm going to do this side first. Okay, so I've pressed that first side into the middle. Now I'm going to repeat on this side so that these raw edges meet here in the middle. I'm going to press all the way along. Okay, so my fabric is now pressed to the middle. So if you see, if I open it, it's just both pieces folded into that creased middle. We're now going to fold one more time so that those raw edges are in the middle, just like so. So you can see here, there's no more raw edges, and we're actually using that first fold that we made. And then we're just going to press along the strap again, all the way down. Okay, now that that's pressed, we're going to grab our swivel hook. We're gonna insert our swivel hook into our strap here, just like so. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our ends, we're gonna open the ends up, so unfold them, just like so. We wanna make sure it's not twisted, so if you see my center folds going like this, so I'm gonna keep it like that when I open this one as well. Okay, so my two ends are now open, here and over here. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring them together with right sides facing, right here, just like so. So you can see my ends are all aligned. We're gonna sew across using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now for extra security, you can actually sew this seam twice. I've just sewn across and I sewed my seam twice. That's what it looks like on each side. Now you're either gonna press your seam open or to one side. It really depends what you prefer, but I like to press it open so I distribute the bulk over here from the seam allowance. Then what you're gonna do is using your creases that you made when you pressed the strap earlier, you're gonna refold this. I'm gonna bring my pieces back to the middle. As best as I can. Okay, and then you're gonna refold it. Just like so. So it's gonna be a loop. And if you want, you can actually take it back to the iron and repress it if you need to. I may do that to mine. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna sew all the way around, gradually moving your swivel hook as you sew to secure the folded edges. Then you're gonna sew on this side as well. So you're gonna have a top stitch on this side and a top stitch on this side. Now that our strap is sewn all the way around on both sides, we're gonna grab our swivel hook and we're gonna bring it to our seam. So I'm gonna slide mine all the way to my seam. Okay, and make sure that seam is right in there. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sew as close as possible to the swivel hook right across here. And I'm gonna make sure to back stitch a bunch so that it's nice and secure, and that will keep the swivel hook at the seam. So I sewed across just close to my swivel hook and I back stitched a bunch to make sure it's nice and secure. And then I just clipped it onto the D-ring tab on my completed wristlet. So this is the finished Woodland Wonders wristlet. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you made one of these wristlets, we would love to see it. So please hashtag Woodland Wonders if you share it online so that myself and Jackie from Sweetfire Road can see your wristlet. Once again, this is a collaboration with Sweetfire Road from Moda Fabrics, showcasing her new collection, Frivolity, which was all the quilting cotton you saw in this video. So definitely check out the collection. And again, if you're looking for the pattern, you can find details on where to get it in the description box. I'll see you all next time with a new tutorial.